Okay, so first of all, I'm your stereotypical type A perfectionist, rule-following, straight A student. I grew up crying over B's and report cards, I know, and stressing myself out over making everything perfect all the time. I overwork myself on a regular basis, and I'm always striving to be successful and making sure that I'm always perceived as being right. And I would never want to present something to people that I didn't feel like was my best work and that was perfect. However, all that kind of slowly changed over the course of this program. It all started with my pivotal learning experience when I was in IT 500. So this was really early on in my program. It was my first class actually in the program. And in that class, I read about failing quickly to learn fast. And I was instantly intrigued by this idea. Wait. So you're telling me that I can fail and be okay with it, and it's okay to just put something out there, write, share those shitty rough drafts, as the writer Anne Lamott says. Whoa, this is a big deal for me, the perfectionist, but so the chapter started out by talking about perfectionism and healthy versus unhealthy perfectionism, which immediately hooked me because, hello, you're talking to me. I am, again, a perfectionist. And then Sims basically in the chapter started talking about prototyping and how it can be a way to fail quickly, to learn fast, and you can really just put something out there, get feedback, fix it, keep moving through the process. And that was like again, eye-opening, big deal for me. So here I am. It's my first few weeks in the program, first few weeks of grad school in my life. And again, you're telling me that it's okay if I'm wrong. It's okay to make mistakes. And it's okay to turn something in that might not be perfect. And it might have some things that people are going to talk or nitpick me on. I mean, this is huge for me. I'm, again, and also admittedly kind of scary too. How would I break this mindset I've had my whole life? It's who I am. My academic career is to get A's. That's what I strive for. I always want to submit the best work possible, and I want the best grade possible. I mean, remember I told you I cried over B's when I was growing up. Like, a B was detrimental to me when I was in high school. So this was a really big turning point for me. So later in IT 500, I actually wrote in one of my posts. So, I mean, this immediately took hold. I was really starting to feel comfortable sharing I wrote in one of my posts that to learn from failing, not from flying. So this immediately is showing you that I was like really starting to take this idea. I was trying to live this out, that it was okay to fail and that I could really learn from my failures rather than learning from being perfect every time. We learned about Natalie Nixon, who discussed documenting mistakes. And I didn't realize it at the time, but this would actually become one of my biggest strengths in the program. And one of the most important ways that I was able to kind of embrace that failure and embrace the process. I ultimately trained myself, I guess you would say, to kind of put myself out there and show my mistakes in this documenting form. So this kind of started when I was in Design Studio 1. I started feeling comfortable with sharing my failures. Again, this was like something new for me, right? I'm trying to get good at sharing my failures. And I was excited to show my process of failing quickly to learn fast. At first, I was confused and I was overwhelmed by Design Studio 1. I had to learn a new tool. I had to document the process. What does that mean? How do I do that? And then I realized, well, it's not about what I'm making. It's not the end. It wasn't about the end. It was about what I was doing to get there. It was about the failures. It was about making the mistakes. So I started kind of taking screenshots and showing my process, and I really learned from that because I would immediately get feedback from people based on kind of where I was going wrong or what they saw, what they liked, and that really kept moving me forward. So it was really that mindset that got me through the program. Every time I started a new course or a new project, I realized how much feedback I actually got from sharing the process, sharing my mistakes, sharing my failures, putting stuff out there, even if I didn't feel like it was perfect. I mean, sure, of course, I still freaked out and I overanalyzed and I was like, oh no, it's not good. But some of the pressure was really off. I can make mistakes through my process and they would get corrected along the way. Other people would help me out, give me feedback. It was okay that my objectives weren't labeled right the first time. It was okay that I forgot to put the directions in my training guide. The design process is iterative, so you're always going to go back and fix things. It's not a problem if you start out making mistakes, because somebody along the line is going to correct them, or you yourself are going to come back to them and correct them. And through that, I really started to trust myself. So I trusted the process, and that led to me trusting myself. I trusted myself to really show who I am and show my personality. I was really used to being like really stuffy and professional in everything that I did. And I started to let my personality shine in my narratives and in my design journals. And that was really something I'd never done before. So thinking back to that moment in IT 500, my pivotal moment when I first read about failing quickly to learn fast, this was really like, this was the thing for me, because it really did shift how I saw myself and how I saw this program and kind of what it was going to be like for me.